They're calling it a salmon sperm facial. Kim Kardashian's had it.
I got salmon sperm facial with salmon sperm injected into my face.
Clinics are charging thousands for it. And apparently, it involves injecting fish DNA into your face. But here's the thing. This isn't just clickbait. There's real science behind it. And some of it might actually work. So let's find out what's hype, what's dangerous, and what might just be your skin's new weird best friend. So you've spent the money, you've tried the creams, the serums, the so-called actives, you've followed the routines, seen the ads, and read the claims. And your skin still looks like, well, your skin. Every year, there's a new ingredient that's clinically proven, patent pending, or K-Beauty's best kept secret. And every time you're left wondering, is this actually doing anything? Or am I just moisturizing and hoping for the best? Now it's salmon DNA. Salmon DNA injected into your face. It's supposedly regenerative and supposedly the thing that's actually going to work. It sounds absurd. It also sounds suspiciously familiar. So is this a breakthrough or just the same scam in better packaging? The skincare industry doesn't need to lie. It just needs to get you confused. Confused enough to think that DNA therapy means something. Confused enough to believe a $120 jar with salmon sperm in the name is somehow revolutionary. They dress it up in sciencey words: polynucleotides, biostimulation, regenerative signaling, and hope that you won't ask what any of it actually means. And we don't, because the bottle's beige, the font's minimalist, and someone on TikTok said that it changed their life. It's the same game, just with better lighting. So let's press pause, let's look at what this actually is, what it actually does, and if it's anything more than another expensive fairy tale with a fishy backstory. So here's the actual science. The ingredient they're using isn't just salmon sperm. It's PDRN, polydeoxyribonucleotide. It's DNA, specifically short fragments of DNA extracted from salmon sperm. It's cleaned up, purified, and broken into small chains. I know it sounds ridiculous, but PDRN isn't new. It's been used in medicine for over 30 years for wound healing, diabetic ulcers, and even tissue repair after surgery, because it accelerates tissue repair. It's like dropping a bunch of extra building blocks into a construction site and speeding up the crew. When injected into the dermis, the layer of your skin where the good stuff happens, PDRN binds to a receptor called A2A. This triggers a regenerative response. Collagen and elastin production go up, inflammation goes down, blood flow improves, skin cells start behaving like younger versions of themselves. And here's the other cool part: PDRN doesn't just tell your skin to repair itself. It actually hands over the raw materials to do it. Your cells have something called the salvage pathway. It's like a recycling program for DNA. Instead of building everything from scratch, your body takes leftover DNA bits and reuses them to patch up damaged cells. When you inject PDRN, you're dumping a bunch of pre-cut DNA fragments straight into your repair zone. So your skin says, oh, cool, thanks. I'll use this to rebuild that broken collagen strand or fix that stressed out fibroblast. So PDRN is doing two things at once. It's signaling your skin to heal and supplying the tools to make that healing happen. It's like showing up to a collapsed bridge with both the blueprint and a truckload of steel. The result is that skin heals faster, holds more moisture, and gradually becomes firmer, brighter, and more elastic. Not overnight, not dramatic, but real. But, and this is a big but, none of that just happens if you slap it on top of your face. Rejuran, the product that's getting all the hype, uses PDRN in injectable form, and that's key. You have to inject it into the dermis, where your collagen and fibroblasts live, or it's basically just expensive goo. DNA is a huge molecule. It doesn't absorb through the skin on its own. So those PDRN creams and sheet masks, unless they're paired with microneedling or lasers, they're mostly marketing, not medicine. Injections, though, that's a different story. That's where the clinical evidence lives. Real studies have shown improvements in hydration, fine lines, elasticity, even pigmentation. especially after 3 or 4 sessions spaced a few weeks apart. Think of it as a skin rehab, not filler. This won't plump your cheeks or freeze your forehead. It won't give you the dramatic after photos, but it might make your skin stronger, healthier, and slightly more capable of doing its job, holding in water, bouncing back, and repairing itself. Some dermatologists describe it as restoring skin's function, not just surface appearance. Less instant glow, more, my face doesn't feel like crepe paper anymore. And that's important because we're all sold miracle fixes. But what your skin actually needs is rebuilding, not reshaping. So the bottom line, yes, PDRN is real. The biology makes sense. The clinical data is solid, especially for injectables. And if it's done properly, it can make aging skin function more like younger skin. It's not hype, but it's not magic either. And the part that actually works doesn't come in a jar. Let's talk results, because this is where things usually fall apart. If you've seen the before and afters, poreless glowing skin, wrinkles vanished, texture airbrushed, what they don't tell you, that comes from injections, not a $40 serum. The injectable form, like Rejuran, goes straight into the dermis. That's where the collagen-producing cells live. That's where DNA fragments can actually trigger repair. And studies do show real effects. Up to 30% improvement in elasticity, 28% reduction in fine wrinkles, 22% boost in hydration. But that's after 3 sessions. And the truth that nobody on TikTok says out loud is that the results are really subtle. This isn't Botox, it's not filler. It's not a laser that melts your melanin. PDRN is a biostimulant. It doesn't plump or paralyze. It just nudges your skin to function better over time, slowly. Most people report that their skin feels stronger, looks smoother, and holds on to moisture better. But you're not walking out of the session with a new face. And anyone promising you that is selling you more than salmon DNA. They're selling you a fantasy. Even the clinics say that it's hard to show in photos. It's more about how your skin feels, bounce, barrier, and resilience, than things that a ring light won't always capture. And those PDRN creams flooding the market, let's be honest, they're mostly placebo with nice packaging. The molecule is too big to absorb through intact skin, unless you're pairing it with microneedling or lasers. It's probably just sitting there while the glycerin does the heavy lifting. So if you're buying a PDRN serum hoping to rewind time, you're going to be disappointed. And if you're paying for injections expecting a facelift, same deal. What you can expect is skin to feel healthier, look slightly more hydrated, and maybe if you do a full series, a modest softening of fine lines and texture. That's the real win, not transformation, restoration. But are you going to regret putting fish DNA in your face? So here's the deal. Generally, yes, PDRN injections are safe. This isn't some random TikTok experiment. PDRN has been used in wound healing for decades, and so far, the safety profile looks solid. That said, like anything injectable, it's not risk-free. Mild swelling, tiny injection bumps, a bit of redness is totally expected. You look a little puffy for a day or two. You might maybe have a bruise or two, depending on how your injector works. And yet, it is going to sting a bit, but they usually use numbing cream. What's rare but real is allergic reactions. Even though DNA is purified and stripped of proteins, you're still injecting something from salmon. One US surgeon reported a patient who ended up with over 200 angry red bumps across her face and neck, and it lasted for months. That's extreme, but it happened. So if you've got a fish allergy, autoimmune condition, or sensitive immune system, this is not the place to wing it. Patch test or just don't bother. Infection is low risk if it's done by a trained professional in a clean clinic. But if someone's injecting this stuff in a back room with reused needles, that's not skincare, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And those PDRN cream, they're harmless mostly. If anything goes wrong there, it's usually irritation, not immune drama. But also, it's probably not doing much anyway. But one big red flag is that Rejuran is not FDA approved in the US. It's approved in South Korea, is CE marked in Europe, which means European conformity, which shows that the manufacturer declares that it meets EU safety, health, and environmental standards. But in America, it's off-label only. So any clinic using it is either importing it from abroad or using an unregulated alternative. That's not necessarily a red alert. Botox wasn't FDA approved for wrinkles for years, but it does mean that you need to vet your clinic hard. Ask, what brand are they using? Is it medical grade? Is it the real thing? Or something sketchy off Alibaba? And please don't inject anything labeled fish DNA that you bought online. I can't believe I have to say that, but here we are. The bottom line, when it's done properly, it's safe. When it's done badly, you'll regret it. Know your allergies, check your injector's credentials, and don't cut corners. So let's say you're intrigued. I'm a bit intrigued, to be honest. You're not expecting miracles, but you like the idea of skin that works better, smoother, stronger, more hydrated. I mean, it's real mean, to be honest. Pardon the pun. What's the smart move? So step one is to go to a qualified injector, not a beauty bar, not your cousin's apartment. This is a medical procedure. You want someone licensed, trained, and using a legit product. Ideally, Rejuran or another polynucleotide injectable with a real regulatory track record. If you're in the US, remember it's not FDA approved yet. That doesn't mean it's illegal. It means you're in off-label territory. So ask where it's sourced, ask what's in the vial and to see it. If they can't answer clearly, just walk away. Step two is a series, not a one-off. One session won't do much. 3 to 4 sessions spaced 2 to 4 weeks apart is the typical protocol for noticeable results. After that, some people do maintenance 2 to 3 times per year. Think of it like personal training for your skin. One workout doesn't transform you, consistency does. Step 3 is to not ditch the basics. No injectable will save you from sun damage or dehydration. Keep your sunscreen, retinoid, and moisturizer game strong. PDRN is a great booster, not a replacement. You're not choosing between science and self-care. You need both. Step 4, don't fall for cheap imitations. If someone's offering fish DNA facials for $99, run. If you find a PDRN serum online and it's got no ingredient breakdown, no concentration, and no brand traceability, just pass. This is your face. Don't experiment with unknown substances from the internet. PDRN works best when you understand what it's for. This isn't about looking 25 again. It's about giving your skin the tools to act 10 years younger. Not look frozen, not look filled. That's the real power of regenerative skincare. Quiet, subtle, and the long game. So salmon DNA isn't a scam. The science is real. When it's injected, when it's pure, and when it's done by someone who knows what they're doing. But most of what you're seeing online is packaging, hype, and hope in a jar. So use your brain, use your SPF, and don't expect miracles.